But in the interior of the country, things have remained the same. Here men live and die as their fathers and grandfathers did. This is Alghafat, the home of the Beni Hina, one of the many tribes of the Oman. Men here belong to an ultra-conservative Muslim sect which used to consider it their duty to slay unbelievers on sight. No stranger ventured here, and it took months of patient persuasion before a camera team was invited. And even so, centuries of mistrust die hard. Oman was one of the first countries to be converted to Islam during the Prophet's lifetime in the 7th century. Muslims believe in one God, in a hell and a paradise, in a day of judgment. They disapprove of ornament in their worship and have set rituals and obligations. They must give alms to the poor, comfort the needy, and 5 times a day they must turn to Mecca and pray. Before praying, it is necessary to wash the hands, the face, and the feet. Islam is much more than a body of private religious belief. Muhammad taught that there should be no separation between the sacred and the secular. He created a complete code for living that embraces every aspect of family and community life. In true Islamic fashion, this village is still run as though it were a family, each taking his allotted place according to age, wisdom, and sex. Tradition says that no woman may show herself to a man outside the family. For some tribes, this means that she must wear a veil which will only be removed in the privacy of the bedroom. Others half cover their faces, and the most liberal simply pull their shawls across when men approach. Women are brought up to believe they are inferior. We are goats. We know nothing. The villagers of Alghafat live off what they can wring from the anemic soil around the village. They cultivate bananas, melons, and lucerne. 1,000 feet above the salt waters of the Gulf, this is some of the little fertile ground in the Oman. In a good year, with patient husbandry, it can produce 3 sparse crops of wheat. Men till, women cook, although meat and poultry are scarce delicacies reserved for visitors or great festivals. All day and through the utter darkness of the night, the date gardens are watered. Each man is allowed but half an hour, and those who exceed their appointed time must pay recompense to those that follow after. Most trees belong to the village headman, the sheikh, and instead of wages, he allots trees to those that work for him. Most drinking water in the Oman comes from the Falij. This stone channel brings water underground from a spring deep in the heart of the mountain. It is a system created by the skillful engineers of the ancient Persian kings who once ruled here. At the top end of the village, the cool drinking water is drawn. Further down, women wash their clothes in vessels, and all that remains flows into the date groves and there irrigates the palm trees. Here, as all over Arabia, the great tradition of hospitality, with its rituals and its intricacies, lies deep in the hearts of men. Here, the son of the sheikh receives a visit from the local governor. Proper and time-hallowed formalities are observed by all. Host and guest position themselves at the head of the room, and their entourages place themselves as is fitting for their rank and station. The formalities follow their stately pattern as one man says, "How are you, brother?" and another replies, "Well, thanks be to God." It is a ritual that never varies by a hair's breadth, even when one is at the doctor or on a bed of sickness. Well, thanks be to God. The governor has called to offer his formal condolences on the death of a village woman, but even so, no woman is present. Such formal occasions are the preserves of men. After the cooling water comes the fruit and sweetmeat, halva, of which a European traveller once wrote, "They say that to the acquired taste it is delicious. To the uninitiated it smells of rancid butter and tastes like sweet wagon grease." The coffee is flavoured with strong herbs, served black and unsweetened, and here all men know that to refuse a second cup would be discourteous to the host. Men savour not just the refreshment, but the ritual itself, finding in the time-honoured gestures certainty and purpose. Rustaq, once capital of all the interior, now fallen upon less prosperous times. High up in the old fort, the governor, the Wali, holds court in his majlis. The Wali is the Sultan's personal representative. This man is the direct link between government and people, conveying instructions one way and complaints the other. He is also responsible for administering all justice in the region. The Wali is aided in judgment by the Qadi, an expert in the Sharia law, based on Quranic teaching. The Wali is hearing a case about the price of a dowry. At the same time, the Qadi is mediating in a dispute over a second-hand car. It may appear chaotic, but the lack of red tape seems to allow them to get to the bottom of the matter quickly. In the dowry case, the dispute arises because the Sultan has fixed an upper limit of 300 riyals, about £400, so that everyone can afford to get married. Here, a father has tried to double the price. A blind man has come forward as a witness. The Wali insists he is a party to the case and will not accept him. The blind man has also spoken before he was asked and has refused permission to give his evidence. On top of that, says the Wali, he is a blind man, and a blind man needs someone to speak for him. You don't want anyone to speak in this court, the blind man complains.
بصراحه ما تستوى اكيد انت عن نفسك، كيف تستوى اكيد عن غيرك؟ السلطان يقول مره 300 وانتم 600 وثلاثه كيف عنده خمال ويسلم من ثلاث، ليش ما نشرخ الاوراق احنا؟ حيله حيله.
In the souk, the sheer excitement of bargain and bustle takes over.